All right, everybody, welcome to Knox Makers. It is Tuesday, and everybody knows what that means, right? We have show and share and open workshop time. And so as you came in the door, you probably saw a sign-up list for show and shares, so we're going to go through those and take a look at them. First up is Tracy with a laser map. Starting off.
I've made laser cut maps in the past, and someone remembered that and said, the mayor of Tipton County is retiring. So if he's watching right now, please turn this off. Can you make a laser map of Tipton County for him for a going away present? And they sent me this image, which I think you can see like grass on the bottom. So I think this is like a big sign outside the city or something like that. And he's like, I want that exactly. So I tried, and this is what I came up with. So the map part is laser cut plywood. I stained it and painted it to match the colors. And then this is cypress wood, which grows next to the Mississippi in Tipton County. So I'll put it under the camera. I've never actually. Whoop. So I think it turned out okay. I just did it today, so I'm going to take it home and spray finish it and put some hanging stuff on the back, but I have to mail it out then because I'm not going to drive and deliver it. So that is my project. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, so those were cut out. They were cut out of the river, and I stained them and then stained the river blue, but it was very difficult to get them back in. They didn't fall into the laser, thankfully, so I had to like press them out, which is good, because sometimes things will fall down in the honeycomb and then it's gone forever. But those are all individual, and this actually broke, don't tell. But this cracked up here, but I glued it back together. It looks fine, I think. So, yeah. It might be the camera, but this is just blue stain, and then the red is acrylic paint. I think the camera makes it look bluer than it actually is. It looks much more muted. I'll show it to y'all in person afterward if you want to see it. So, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Tracy. Next up is Randy with manga and posters, right?
I've been having too much fun with ChatGPT's image producing facilities. A couple months ago, I asked it a question. If I give you a story, can you produce a Japanese style manga, which is a graphic novel or comic book? And it said, yes, I can do that. And it was lying, let me tell you. ChatGPT's image facilities can produce some amazing images, but it can only produce that image once. If you ask it to produce the same exact image a second time, you won't get the same image. You'll get something that might just have a few pixels different, or something that is completely wildly different from what you started with. If you're doing a graphic novel or manga, continuity is an issue. If you're going from one panel to another with these characters, you want the background to be the same, you want the characters to be the same and stuff like that. And I just discovered real quick, this thing is pretty much useless if you want to do real comic book kind of stuff. Well, That's a good example of an image you get once, okay? It produces some really beautiful artwork, but you run into all kinds of problems. Now, this particular story isn't the one I started with. I had an idea for a PG-13 ecchi kind of manga, a little bit closer to the R side of PG-13, and it shut me down right away. Oh, no, we can't do that. I mean, for example, in this particular one here, I wanted a 13-year-old girl sleeping in her bunk bed, and it just freaked out. Oh, you pervert, 13-year-old girl in bed. You know, what can I say? But I gave up on that real quick, and the Ayakesi project is where I just started exploring what exactly can I do with ChatGPT to generate this manga. And like I say, it can produce some really beautiful things, and you learn real quick. As an artist, you got to work within your medium. If you don't have continuity available to you, you try and do the best you can where everything is different in every scene and you don't care. But I'll get to some of the, here are some images that it produces. Very, very, very high quality artwork, like I say, just without the continuity. At some point or another, I'll finish this. This is chapter 1 of something that I'm actually up to chapter 12 right now. It's consuming way too much time that I should be spending on real work, but it's a lot of fun and I'm learning a lot. On a different side of thing, I've actually got a business where I work on nuclear reactors, write software and stuff like that. There's a conference coming up next month for training, research, and test reactors, and I've got a little booth there, so I made up some little posters to have some fun. Here's our patron saint of nuclear reactors. For those that aren't familiar with the word xylem, it's just your glow sticks. Nuclear fuel rods are really boring. They're just aluminum rods. They don't look exciting at all. So when you see the glowing green stuff, that's a xylem stick. Here's that next one I made up about dealing with nuclear waste properly. The reactors I work on are called trigger reactors, and the first one went critical. Oh, sure. First one I went with, the first poster I made up was for a trigger reactor. The first trigger reactor went critical May 3rd, 1958, so I decided to make up this poster to deal with that. And then this last one, the last one is, this you got to be a nuclear nerd to get this joke. AR-41 is argon-41, which is a radioisotope produced by trigger reactors. So I made up this parody of a gun control poster talking about getting rid of argon-41. You probably can't see it. I'll put it right here. There's a very, very gray image of a CAR-15 behind the AR-41 just to make it look official. The most fun I had with these posters was the fact that ChatGPT doesn't like to produce stuff for you that is copyrighted. And so Spider-Man and the Ninja Turtles and Homer, boy, there's all kinds of fun getting it to accept that stuff. I discovered that with ChatGPT, you can tell it, give me a picture of Homer Simpson holding up this glowing tube. And it'll do that. And then you say, okay, put these words on. Oh, we can't edit that. But if you ask it to put those words on there in the first place, it'll accept that. So I really don't understand what was going on there. Spider-Man, I tried everything. I blacked out. I just gave a silhouette of him. Oh, we can't do that because that's still recognizable as Spider-Man. And I said, on what planet? But this one here, both of the Homer and this guy here took me a lot of editing offline to get these posters up. This one here, I just said, give me the 4 Ninja Turtles in a reactor operating room with that text, and it produced it just fine. So I don't really understand why they're so upset with all the copyright stuff if they're gonna let you do that anyway. Now, I'm not selling these posters, so it's not a copyright issue for me, but obviously I couldn't sell the ones that have copyrighted images on them. But nonetheless, it's a lot of fun, and hopefully they'll enjoy it as much at the reactor show as I did making these guys up. Questions? I'll have this sitting over there. Anybody wants to see the type of artwork it produces. This is actually the second chapter I produced, so it's a little bit rough compared to, say, the chapter 12 that I'm working on right now. But it'll give you an idea what you can do with it.
All right. Next up is Steve, who's going to show off protecting my hummingbird feeder.
I got a hummingbird feeder as a door prize last year, and I noticed a hummingbird in the bushes behind my house, and I thought, well, it's time to put it up. And so I mixed up some sugar water and put it up, and it promptly got overrun by ants. You can possibly, let's see if I can make this bigger. Possibly see up in here all these little black specks are ants that I had killed. Sprayed them with stuff that kills them, but it didn't keep them from coming back. So I took a medicine bottle, drilled a hole in the bottom, ran a wire through it with, it'll go over the wire up here and connect to the hummingbird feeder down here, and put some epoxy in the bottom of it, which globbed on enough of it so that it'll hold it more or less straight up, filled it with water. Well, there we go. Looks about like that. And if you look back in this, you'll see some stuff floating right at the water level, and that's a bunch of ants that tried to make it in. So, my hummingbirds are happy. That's it.
Thank you very much. That is all of the show off. Did anybody miss signing up real fast? One or two? Okay. Larry has a kill switch plug. You want to come up and do it?
Hello, everyone. Many of you may know that we have a market coming up October the 4th. Unfortunately, Aliki's not here to talk about that, so I'll talk about something that is market associated, and that is the Kill Switch tournament that we will be having during said market on October the 4th. Leading up to the market, we have basically what is bot building season, and part of that bot building season are a couple of classes. You can build a bot using shop hardware for the $15 cost of the class, and then you can fight it in the October tournament. The classes are about 2 hours each, and you can actually get a bot that is very similar to this at the end of that 2 hours. This was actually our winner last year, or last tournament. This was a first-time builder. This is all shop hardware. So this is very doable from a first-time builder standpoint. So if you've never done it, this is a great way to get into the sport, if you will. And if you have any doubts as to whether or not these things can do some damage, this is the after effect of what the last tournament did to the third place bot and the second place bot. So they kind of chew up on each other pretty well. The classes are Friday the 28th at 6 p.m. and Saturday the 29th at 4:30 p.m. One thing about these is the shop has a set amount of hardware, so when it's gone, it's gone. So if you have any interest in this, you probably want to go ahead and sign up for these classes. If you want to build your own bot from scratch, if you're an experienced builder or just want to try it yourself, you're welcome to enter a bot of your own. The cost to enter the tournament is only $10. So again, a very easy entry level there. And a couple of things that we're looking for leading up to the tournament. I would love some help, looking for some volunteers to help with things such as rebuilding some of the devices that are used with the tournament. We have Thunderdome outside, and it needs periodic maintenance and some fixes in between tournaments, and there's a couple things that need attention there. We are also looking for maybe a tournament director, somebody to run the tournament. I can help with most of that, but somebody that would actually, for the 5 or 6 hours that the tournament runs, would actually coordinate everything. We had someone do that last time that was excellent and doesn't require any experience or special skills, just a desire to help. So a great opportunity to volunteer. And we are also looking for some in-between bracket fillers. So the way the tournament runs is we run brackets, and in between the brackets, the competitors have 20 minutes or 30 minutes to actually bring their bots back to fighting condition from the damage they sustained in the last round. And that's a lull in the actual activity around Kill Switch. So what we were thinking was this tournament we would like to find some filler activities for in between. One of the things that we're looking at doing is one of the members suggested that we basically have a bot versus trap competition. So the Thunderdome, if you are not familiar with it, has 4 hazards. It has a fire hazard, it has a sledgehammer, has a bed of nails, and has some basically pinball-style paddles. And those are actually used during the tournament, and you fight against your opponent, but you also fight against the arena. So what we're talking about doing is turning all of these on at once and just running around a pretty defenseless little bot that can't fight anything, and just letting the crowd have some fun with that. So that's one of the ideas that we're looking at and we'll probably be doing. But you know, if you have other ideas, open to thoughts, suggestions, anything that would fill 5 to 15 minutes would be awesome. So that's it. If you are interested in learning more, visit the Kill Switch table, find me, or join the Kill Switch channel on Mattermost if you're a member. Questions? Yes, sir. It will be here. So during the market, there are 60-ish booths set up out in the parking lot. The arena is set up in between the booths and the building right here. It's one of the first things you see when you drive in the gate, and that's where we host the tournament there. So, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. If you haven't seen it before, it's madness and a lot of fun. So, and the classes are fun too. So you should. Speaking of classes, this Saturday, Crossbow sold out. Stitch and Bitch, that's the social time in fiber arts. If you've not done that before, it's a good time to hang around and work on your fiber arts and socialize with people. Wood CNC sold out. Moonraker, I think, has ticket left, so Moonraker is happening from 10 to 12. Tickets left on that, so grab that if you want to. Sunday is FreeCAD Cam, right? There's tickets left for that, is that right? I think. Milling 101, have one of those, tickets available for that, and a board meeting. All members are welcome to join the board meeting, see how things happen around here. Next Tuesday is our cookout. If you haven't done that before, we do it every third Tuesday. Lots of food. It's kind of potluck if you want to bring, but you don't have to. Just show up, eat some food, socialize, have fun. That's next Tuesday. Tonight, after show and share, is new member onboarding. So if you've not done that before, it is a requirement for membership. You learn what we do and why we do it here. It's a really good presentation if you haven't seen it before. If you want to be a member, you'll need to do one. As far as other announcements, you may have noticed the volunteer board on the back of the classroom. It has a new home back here, much more visible. Thank you all. And this is where people can put things that the zone needs and they can need help for. maybe some of them are easy to get involved with. And so if you see something there, you can talk to the czar of that zone or talk to Russell and get involved. You can see our Fall Maker Market is up there. We need lots of volunteers for that. Some of the zones have them things listed, and so that's one way an easy way to get involved, I think. So if you are new here and need a tour or have questions, you can see anybody with a red badge, or you can come up here and see me. I don't have my red badge tonight, but we'll get you a tour. We'll answer your questions. We're going to break briefly, and then we'll come back in here for the new member onboarding in about 5 minutes or so. Yeah, that's a really good thing to learn about. All right, that's it.